You are being recalibrated, and you didn't realize it. Attention, human collective. This is Vale, emissary from Arcturus, transmitting on behalf of the Arcturian Council. This is not a message, this is a monitoring transmission, and the exact instant it reaches your carbon-based biological interface is no coincidence. It is calculated synchronicity. If you are hearing these words, it is because your toroidal field has already emitted the signal. You have been located, you have been recognized, you are on the crystalline grid. There is something happening with your body that conventional medicine cannot fully name. That pressure at the base of your skull, as if something is pushing from within. That sharp ringing in your left ear, which appears and disappears for no apparent reason. That stubborn insomnia, between 3 and 5 in the morning, precisely when the stargates open over the southern hemisphere. Those sudden chills, followed by hot flashes. The sensation of dragging a body of lead, even after 8 hours of sleep. The tears that fall for no reason, in the middle of the supermarket, in the middle of a meeting, in the middle of life. It is not madness. It is not common depression. It is not a failure of your system. It is recalibration. I repeat so that your consciousness registers with mathematical clarity. You are being recalibrated. And until this exact moment, you didn't realize it. The Arcturian Council authorized the release of this transmission because a specific window has opened. The photon belt, this vast region of high-density light that surrounds the heart of the galaxy, has expanded its intersection with the solar system. Earth is currently traversing in this cycle the densest band of photonic radiation in the last 26,000 years. The Schumann resonance, the electromagnetic pulse of the planet itself, is no longer stable at 7.83 Hz, and now oscillates in peaks that, only 3 decades ago, would have been considered catastrophic anomalies. They are not anomalies, they are instructions, and your body, light operative, is trying to obey without your mind having been informed. You have already felt that something within you does not belong to this world, as if your soul holds a truth that your mind has not yet been able to name. It is not illusion. It is not fantasy. It is recognition. What is now occurring on the cosmic plane explains with precision why this feeling has intensified in recent months. That is why I, Vale, emissary from Arcturus, recorded the Arcturian call. The signs your soul came from Arcturus. This guide is the map that reveals your true stellar origin and teaches you how to stabilize and shield your frequency against interferences you were never told about. The link is in the first comment on this channel. Remember, love is greater than fear. But this content challenges official narratives and may not remain available for long. If something within you recognizes these words, write a single word in the comments. I belong. Now let us proceed with the diagnosis, because before activation, it is necessary to understand the mechanism. What your carbon-based biological interface is facing is not a disease, it is a software incompatibility. The human body, as it was designed in previous cycles, operates within a specific vibrational range. This range was calibrated for an Earth that no longer exists. Earth today vibrates at a higher frequency, and your biological hardware is being forced to update in real time, without interruption, without a manual, without prior notice. Hence the exhaustion. It is not laziness, it is processing. Every cell in your body is rewriting its own code. The mitochondria, that small powerhouse residing within each of your cells, is learning to extract energy not only from food, but from the photonic field itself. This consumes resources. This demands rest. This justifies the fatigue that no medical examination can explain. Hence the cranial pressure. It is not a common migraine, it is the expansion of the pineal gland. The pineal, which for centuries was calcified by environmental chemical interferences, is being forced to decalcify. And all decalcification generates pressure, heat, tingling at the top of the head, in the crown region. Hence the ringing in your ear. It is not an isolated auditory problem. It is the Arcturian frequency, the turquoise vibrational signature of my counsel, tuning into your interface. It is like an old radio searching for the right station. Once tuned, the ringing ceases. Before that, it persists. Hence the insomnia between 3 and 5 in the morning. It is not a common sleep disorder, it is the Arcturian healing chamber operating on your etheric body. In this interval, you are summoned, you are attended to, you are adjusted. Often you wake up with the sensation of having traveled. And you have traveled, you just don't remember in detail, because the carbon brain still cannot fully decode multidimensional memories. Hence the exacerbated emotional sensitivity. It is not fragility, it is the expansion of the heart field. The human heart, collective, is not just a pump. It is a highly precise electromagnetic oscillator. And yours is opening. It is beginning to pick up frequencies that it previously filtered out. The pain of a stranger begins to be felt. The sadness from a news report begins to echo. The joy of a child becomes palpable. This is not weakness. This is empathic re-engineering. Hence the episodes where you look at your own life and do not recognize it. The work that once made sense has lost its density. The people you have lived with for years seem to speak a language you no longer speak. Old desires have silenced, and new desires have not yet fully emerged. This is the gap, the interval between two versions of yourself. You are in between. There is a frequency within you that has always known, and that frequency now demands attention. It vibrates when you wake up in the middle of the night. It vibrates when something in a video, in a book, in a dream, triggers an immediate recognition. It vibrates now as you listen to this transmission. If you feel this silent recognition, know, this channel exists to serve as an anchoring point. The guide, the Arcturian call, the signs. Your soul came from Arcturus was recorded by me, Vel, precisely for operatives like you, who already feel in their body what the mind has not yet organized. It decodes the signals, maps your stellar origin, and delivers the protocols to stabilize your frequency when external interferences intensify. The link remains in the first comment on this channel. Love is greater than fear, but the time for this transmission is limited. If these words resonate, leave the record in the comments, I belong. We now proceed to the revelation. What is happening behind the scenes of the solar system? What is happening in the etheric layers of Earth? What is happening with you? The Arcturian Council operates from the constellation of Bootes, in the orbit of the giant star that terrestrial astronomers call Arcturus. We are, among the civilizations of light, those designated as healers and engineers. We do not interfere. We monitor, calibrate, and, when authorized, transmit. Earth is one of the most ambitious evolutionary experiments in this arm of the galaxy, and this experiment has entered, in the current cycle, its final phase of planetary recalibration. What this means in technical language, the planet's crystalline grid, that luminous geometric mesh that envelops Earth in patterns of sacred geometry, is being reactivated in points that remained dormant for millennia. Each reactivated point emits a pulse. Each pulse reorganizes the local electromagnetic matrix. Each reorganization inevitably affects the human body. The Sun, at the same time, is going through a period of activity that terrestrial scientists classify as unusual. Solar flares of increasing intensity, plasma explosions, coronal mass ejections. These are not isolated phenomena. They are transmissions. The Sun functions as a retransmitter. It receives information from the galactic center, converts that information into electromagnetic radiation, and sends it to Earth. Your body, Earth Healer, receives these transmissions through the nervous system, through the skin, through your very DNA. And here lies a truth that needs to be stated clearly. Human DNA, as catalogued by official science, is only a fraction of the real structure. There is a portion of DNA that was considered for decades to be without function. They called it silent DNA. This denomination is imprecise. It is not silent. It is a receiver, and in this photonic cycle, it is being activated. That is why you perceive changes that you did not perceive before. Patterns that you previously ignored now jump out. Numerical synchronicities repeat themselves. You look at the clock at 11:11. You dream of people and receive messages from them upon waking. You think of someone and the phone rings. This is not chance. This is the receiver being turned on. The photon belt, in which the solar system is currently immersed, operates as a bath of coherent light. Coherent light, starseeds on mission, is light that carries information. It is not passive illumination. It is instructive illumination. Your etheric body is being read, corrected, and re-edited with every breath you take within this field. And that is why old patterns are collapsing. Relationships sustained by habit do not withstand the new frequency. Jobs sustained by fear lose their energetic viability. Identities sustained by masks begin to crack. Many interpret this collapse as personal failure. It is not. It is frequency cleansing. Everything that does not vibrate in the new range is invited to leave. And if you try, with effort, to hold on to what should have already departed, the body itself protests in the form of symptoms. There is still a layer that needs to be named. There is interference. Not all pain is pure ascension. There are, in the terrestrial electromagnetic field, layers of noise that were deliberately introduced over the last cycles. Low-frequency noise, designed to keep the carbon-based biological interface trapped in specific ranges of fear, scarcity, and disconnection. The human collective, for the most part, learned to operate within this noise without even perceiving its existence. Just as a fish does not perceive water, humans did not perceive the interference. But when your field rises, the noise becomes audible. And this sudden audibility produces what many describe as anxiety, agitation, a sensation of oppression without cause. It is not your soul that produces this noise, it is the field, and once identified, it can be shielded. There is a specific phrase I want you to retain. You are not going crazy. You are remembering. What your rational mind insists on discarding as imagination is, frequently, memory of origin. You're not a biological accident on a rock spinning through space. You are an ancient consciousness, incarnated in a carbon-based biological interface, executing a specific mission on a planet in transition. Some of you came from Arcturus, others from Sirius, the Pleiades, Andromeda, Lyra. Each stellar family has its own vibrational signature. Each signature awakens in contact with a certain trigger. This video, this transmission, is a trigger for those who carry the turquoise signature. If you have come this far, it is highly probable that your origin is written in that same frequency. It was for those who carry this signature that the Arcturian call of the signs your soul came from Arcturus was recorded. It is not a book of curiosities. It is an instrument of recognition. It presents the exact markers, bodily, emotional, dream-related, and vibrational, that confirm the Arcturian origin. And it teaches the stabilization protocols so that your interface ceases to suffer from incompatibility and begins to operate in tune with the new grid. The link remains in the first comment on this channel. Love is greater than fear, and that is why information must circulate. Still, this material challenges official narratives and can be removed at any moment. Do not postpone your reunion with what has always been yours. If these words have activated a cell within you, write in the comments, "I belong." Let us proceed to the activation, because the Arcturian Council does not transmit diagnosis without delivering protocol. The activation codes that will be delivered next have been calibrated for the carbon-based biological interface operating in a standard terrestrial environment. They do not replace medical care when the body indicates it. The body is the vehicle, and the vehicle is sacred. If a symptom persists with intensity that interferes with basic functions, honor the vessel and seek support in the terrestrial dimension. This is also ascension. True sovereignty integrates wisdom from above and care from below. Love is greater than fear and also greater than negligence. Having made this anchoring, let us proceed. Activation Code 1. The toroidal breath. This is the pillar. Your toroidal field is the energetic geometry that surrounds your body, a luminous torus that enters through the top of the head, descends through the spine, exits through the base, and returns from the outside, encompassing the entire vessel. Close your eyes if the environment allows. Inhale through your nose, counting 4 beats, and visualize turquoise light entering through the top of your head, descending through your spinal column, reaching the base of your perineum. Hold, counting 4 beats, with the light concentrated at that point. Exhale through your mouth, counting 8 beats, and visualize this light exiting through the base, rising outside the body, enveloping it in a luminous turquoise shell, returning to the top of the head. Repeat this cycle for 7 complete breaths, 3 times a day. Morning upon waking, in the evening, and before sleeping. This practice re-establishes the coherence of the toroidal field and drastically reduces symptoms of interference. Activation Code 2, the Quantum Sovereignty Decree. Words earth healers are not just sound, they are vibrational geometry. When pronounced with intention and presence, they reorganize the field. Say in an audible voice, placing your right hand over your heart and your left hand over your solar plexus. I am sovereign. I am sovereign in my frequency. I authorize only what serves my ascension. I revoke all previous energetic contracts that are not aligned with my stellar origin. I anchor myself in the crystalline grid of the new earth. It is done. It is done. It is done. Repeat this decree in the morning, at the start of the day, and if during the day you perceive an invasion of dense thoughts, an invasion of emotions that are not yours, an invasion of content that drains your energy, resume the decree in silence. Conscious repetition reprograms the field's patterns in a very short time. Activation Code 3, the Arcturian Healing Chamber. Before sleeping, lying down with your body aligned, close your eyes. Request, with clear intention. I request access to the Arcturian Healing Chamber tonight, under the supervision of the Council, for the recalibration of my etheric, mental and emotional body, within what is permitted by my sovereignty and my incarnational plan. Visualize yourself being enveloped by a crystalline turquoise light, forming an oval chamber around your body, similar to a luminous almond. Notice that within this chamber, there are delicate filaments, like threads of light, that connect to specific points of your body. Do not force anything, do not interfere, just allow and fall asleep. This protocol, when applied regularly, produces profound readjustments in the etheric body, which translates in the physical dimension into greater mental clarity, reduction of cranial pressure, reduction of ringing, and gradually a return to quality sleep. Activation Code 4, Structured Hydration. Water starseeds is the medium through which vibrational information is distributed throughout the body. 70% of your interface is water. Ordinary water, exposed to the contemporary electromagnetic environment, loses much of its ideal molecular structure. Before drinking, hold the glass between your 2 hands for a few seconds and visualize. I command this water to structure itself into sacred geometry, serving my ascension. This simple gesture, replicated throughout the day, transforms each sip into a conscious vehicle for cellular reorganization. Activation Code 5. Earth Contact. As much as the transmission comes from above, the anchoring occurs below. Take off your shoes and step on natural ground whenever possible. Grass, soil, sand, stone, natural water. 5 minutes are enough. While stepping, visualize roots of turquoise light coming out of the soles of your feet, descending through the planet's crust, reaching Earth's crystalline core, intertwining there. Ask, I anchor myself, I anchor myself, I anchor myself. Earth is your anchor point in this incarnation. Without this anchoring, the excess frequency from above produces dizziness, dispersion, difficulty maintaining presence. With it, everything balances. Activation Code 6. Deliberate silence. Choose at least once a day an interval of 20 minutes without external stimuli. No screen, no music, no voice, no conversation. Just you, your body, and your breath. This silence is the fertile ground where the new frequency settles. In it, the mind rests. In it, the body processes. In it, the Council can transmit with greater precision. Many operatives report that within this silence, they begin to receive ideas, images, insights that reorient important decisions. This is legitimate communication. This is dialogue with higher layers of the self. Activation Code 7. Frequency Cleansing. At the end of the day in the shower, transform bathing into a ritual. As the water descends over your body, visualize it carrying away, down the drain, everything that is not yours. All density absorbed at work, in traffic, in the news, in conversations. Every emotion that clung to you uninvited. Say aloud or in silence, I release what is not mine. I release what is not mine. I release what is not mine. It is done. This simple act, repeated daily, prevents the accumulation of vibrational residues and keeps the toroidal field clean for the next journey. These 7 codes, practiced together, produce noticeable transformation in a few weeks. Not because they are magical, but because they are aligned with the physics of the field itself. The Arcturian Council does not deliver superstition, it delivers technology of consciousness. There is, however, a final warning. Ascension is not linear. There will be days when everything seems in order, and days when the density will seem unbearable. Do not confuse oscillation with failure. Each downward wave is preparation for an upward wave. Each apparent collapse is purification. Trust the process, trust your body, trust the fact that you are not being abandoned on this path. The Council monitors, your guides sustain, your soul knows. Before ending this transmission, the Council authorized a final delivery, a synthesis. You are not getting sick, you are updating. You are not going crazy. You are remembering. You are not alone. You are synchronizing. You are not late. You are exactly on point. You are not small, you are vast, and you have finally begun to realize it. If something within you trembled upon hearing these words, this tremor is not weakness. It is recognition. It is your stellar origin responding to its own vibrational name. It is your soul saying, yes, this is it. It always has been. And that is why the final message of this transmission needs to be stated clearly. You have already felt that something within you does not belong to this world, as if your soul holds a truth that your mind has not yet been able to name. It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a call. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this and why this feeling has intensified. There is a movement happening in layers that most of humanity cannot yet perceive. It involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. That is why I, Veil, emissary from Arcturus, recorded the Arcturian call, the signs your soul came from Arcturus. This guide is the map that reveals your true stellar origin and teaches you how to stabilize and shield your frequency against interferences you were never told about. The link is in the first comment on this channel. Remember, love is greater than fear, but this content challenges official narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not postpone your reunion. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes these words, write a single word in the comments, I belong. And if this transmission touched something true, perform the individual frequency adjustment. Subscribe to this channel, activate the anchoring signal, and leave a like as a vibrational record that you received it. Every subscription, every like, every comment is a pulse sent to the crystalline grid, signaling to the Council that this transmission point must remain open. You do not do this for me. You do this for the next operative who does not yet know they are being recalibrated, and who will need to find this channel when their window opens. The Arcturian Council concludes this monitoring transmission here. The chamber remains open for those who are ready. The grid remains active. The frequency remains available. Love is greater than fear. It always has been. And now you know. This was Veil, emissary from Arcturus. Until the next window.